Hello, my name is Bujan, and today me and my colleagues Gabriela and Mona are going to talk about Schadenfreude. Let's start with the definition. Schadenfreude is a social emotion which states that it is a pressure derived by another's misfortune. It can often arise when the misfortune happens to affect someone who we perceive as competitors or someone who we believe is more capable. Schadenfreude's significance in psychology can be and motivational studies can be seen through the social hierarchy. The emotion emerges when someone's social ranking is being threatened or reinforced. It can also be seen as a coping mechanism to people who who struggle with envy and low social standing. Also, we can see it with the justice-driven motivation, which amplifies Schadenfreude. When we see someone who gets this misfortune, who actually deserves it. There's also the significance in the nature and nurture debate. The nature side being the activation of the ventral striatum, and the nurture side being the which consists of the cultural norms and the personal experiences of an individual. There's also the genetic factors, which is actually deeply rooted with the brain's reward processing systems. There's the most relevant brain structures mechanisms are the ventral striatum and the amygdala and the prefrontal cortex. There's also the heritable traits, such as dopamine-related genetic variant, which can influence the reward sensitivity, and in someone's misfortune. And also, we see it with people who have lower levels of empathy. There's also the evolutionary perspective, which could lead to Schadenfreude to have more adaptive significance, such as social competition. For example, you observe your rivals' failures and you learn from them to adapt more to the social hierarchy. The studies that back this up are the twin studies. Twins are being studied, and we can see how the genetic factors can affect the Schadenfreude. And there's also the functional MRI studies, which shows the consistent activation of the ventral striatum when we see someone who we don't really like.
I'm gonna talk more about how nurture shapes Schadenfreude. First is parenting. Children often observe how their parents and caregivers react to misfortunes and failures of others, and they imitate that emotional response. Culture in societies where competition is intense, success is often celebrated at someone else's expense, and it is normalized to feel joy when others lose. Next is media. Social media and reality TV shows amplify the feelings of Schadenfreude. They're often used for entertainment. Schadenfreude is also very common in group dynamics, especially us versus them situations. People experience satisfaction when misfortunes happen to the opposing group. Next, teenage years. Social interactions in these years shape emotional response heavily. Rivalry, bullying, and competition in school environments also encourage the feelings of Schadenfreude. And finally, life circumstances. People who face challenges, especially socioeconomic issues, experience Schadenfreude more often, and they view it as justice being served. To highlight nurture even further, let's look at one example: Schadenfreude in politics. Research shows that politicians and supporters of rival parties experience satisfaction when the opposing group faces scandals or misfortunes. Social media amplifies that, which reinforces group identity and also more rivalry.
Now I'm going to talk about interaction between nature and nurture. As we know that Schadenfreude has two factors that works together. For instance, an individual with a highly sensitive reward system, which is the nature part, may experience amplified Schadenfreude in competitive environment, which is nurture. This interaction highlights how biological predisposition are shaped and intensified by social context. And while nature provides the foundation part, nurture plays a crucial role in shaping how Schadenfreude manifests. To imagine competitive social environment, competitive school environment, individuals with a sensitive reward system may feel stronger Schadenfreude when their classmate fails, as their brains associate such events with a personal gain. And over time, those environments can reinforce these responses, creating a feedback loop where nature and nurture influence each other and working together. And this is a case study, Schadenfreude in sports rivalry. During in 2016 Copa America, Brazil's elimination after a referee's mistake caused a strong Schadenfreude among rival fans, especially those who's loyal to teams like Argentina and Uruguay. These fans found pleasure in Brazil's loss because of their competitive rivalry and dislike for the team. This case shows how Schadenfreude is influenced by both nature and nurture. Biologically, the brain's reward system activates in response to a rivalry's failure, and environmentally, competitive cultures like sport rivalries amplifies this feeling, reflecting how biological predisposition and social environments interact in shaping emotions. To conclude with, as we've explored throughout this presentation, Schadenfreude is a complex emotion influenced by both biological and environmental factors. From a biological perspective, we've seen that the brain's reward system, particularly areas like ventral steering, plays a significant role in how we experience Schadenfreude. However, as we discussed, in relationship to environments like competitive sports or workplace hierarchies, these natural tendencies can be amplified by the environment we find ourselves in. In conclusion, the final thought is the study of Schadenfreude reveals how both biology and environment influences our emotions, helping us understand not only this Schadenfreude emotion, but human emotion in general.